point here is you wouldn't understand why the left hates Elon Musk. He's doing more for electrical vehicles, technology, batteries in a lot of ways. I know you can argue about who's actually the most effective, but he certainly is at the forefront. You would have to argue he's top 3. But he's committed the sin of also believing in individual freedoms. So that counteracts the fact that electric cars have been mainstreamed because of him and not that shitty shopping cart Prius.
Tesla's now worth more than GM and Ford. Do you have comments on Elon Musk?
Well, you have to give him credit. I spoke to him very recently, and he's also doing the rockets. He likes rockets, and he does good at rockets, too, by the way. I never saw where the engines come down with no wings, no anything, and they're landing. I said, I've never seen that before. And I was worried about him because he's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our genius. And we want to cherish those people. That's very important, but he's done a very good job.
In today's video, which may be my most controversial of all time, and if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that is really saying something. Not only will I be reacting to Elon Musk roasting his haters, but we're going to go beneath the surface and really try to understand why so much vitriol, venom and hatred is being directed toward Elon Musk, specifically from the political left. If you believe in Tesla's mission and or own Tesla stock, this video is a must watch. It's time to unplug from the matrix. This is where I stand politically, the very definition of a centrist, right down the middle, clearly with a strong libertarian skew. For those of you wondering, these test results weren't just done for the purposes of this video. I originally did this back in 2020 in May. The reason that I'm pointing this out now is just to make sure everybody watching is clear. I don't have an agenda to push here. I don't identify as a Democrat or Republican. I identify as somebody whose brain works and whose brain is used to individually think about topics that matter and draw my own conclusions on everything rather than inheriting my beliefs from a certain political party. As we can see from these results, it doesn't get more centrist than this. So make sure you're sitting down for this because we're about to go down a deep and dark rabbit hole. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can get 2 free stocks with WeBull, a free stock with Stake, free Bitcoin with Coinbase, and free Bitcoin with BlockFi, and the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support.
Elon Musk is Time Magazine's Person of the Year.
Yes.
And here's the thing. People are furious for a bunch of reasons, which may seem confusing. If you were an alien and you landed here on Earth and you said, oh, beep, 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 oh, seems that climate change is the greatest problem because I heard this Scandinavian broad tell me so, and they have a 5-page New Deal. Who would give up 1/5 of their economy for a 5-page bill? They must have to do something. Who is it who can help with electric cars? They killed him. The point here is you wouldn't understand why the left hates Elon Musk. He's doing more for electrical vehicles, technology, batteries in a lot of ways. I know you can argue about who's actually the most effective, but he certainly is at the forefront. You would have to argue he's top 3. But he's committed the sin of also believing in individual freedoms. So that counteracts the fact that electric cars have been mainstreamed because of him and not that shitty shopping cart Prius.
Steven Crowder seems to have a point. After all, Elon Musk has done more for the environment, more for renewable energy, more for sustainable transportation than anyone else on Earth. You would think the Democratic Party would be supportive of Elon Musk and his endeavors, to hold him up as an example to others, especially given the fact that this was one of the primary issues the Democrats campaigned on. It's time, dear viewer, to unplug from the matrix, open your eyes, and see reality for what it is. Many on the political left have inadvertently exposed themselves for the disgusting, despicable, self-interested, venomous, vicious swamp creatures that they are. These steaming piles of human excrement do not have your best interests at heart. Despite what they say, their own political interests are all that matters. Let's look at some proof.
Here's what he had to say about vaccine mandates, and this is why they hate him.
I am against forcing people to be vaccinated. You know, I think this is just not something we should do in America. I think we should encourage people to be vaccinated, strongly try to convince them to be vaccinated, but not force them to be vaccinated. Or, for example, force them to get vaccinated or get fired.
Well, look, the Inglorious Bastards haircut doesn't help. So this is how people were furious at Elon Musk. Again, it wouldn't make sense, but you have to understand, just like Omicron, we just talked about this with Anthony Fauci. It should be great. It's over. It's more communicable. It's less deadly. But instead, they need you to be afraid. They need you to hate. Let me be clear here. I don't hate Sarah. I don't hate Sarah Silverman. I don't hate anybody. It's very rare that I send out something vitriolic on Twitter. Usually it's the extent of you're a moron.
I can definitely relate on this topic. I'm not a hateful person and nothing is ever personal for me, but I will call a moron if they say or do something moronic. It's never personal, it's always about the ideas or the actions if they have negative consequences. And the more important point that was made there, one of the key, not the only, but one of the key reasons that many on the political left hate Elon Musk and are directing as much hatred and anger towards him as possible for their own political gain is because they can't control him. Elon will not conform to the mainstream narrative. If he has a dissenting opinion, he will share it. Unlike, for example, let's just say practically every late night television host, who are, let's face it, a bunch of gigantic pussies afraid to say anything that'll perturb anybody on the political left. If I were to distill why the left hates Elon Musk, it boils down to this. If we can't control him, we must destroy him.
This is former Secretary of Labor Robert Reich. He wrote, Elon Musk's Time debut is a good time to remind you that he illegally threatened to take away stock options if employees unionized and had 43 workers' rights violations filed against his company since 2010. So Democratic advisor Kurt Bardella tweeted, the Bardella of blood, and that with time has lost all remaining credibility. What an absolute disgrace.
Made the electric car cool.
Yes. Yeah. Well, created the electric car that got more than 4 miles on a 19-day charge.
Yes.
Yeah. Native American, and by that I mean not Native American, Elizabeth Warren tweeted, let's change the rigged tax code so the person of the year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else.
No.
Elizabeth Warren, who hurt you?
Stick around because not only are we about to go further down this rabbit hole and expose these people for who they truly are, but we're also going to see Elon Musk fighting back and roasting these haters. So, who is Robert Reich? Robert Reich is one of the morons on the left who constantly levels unwarranted attacks on Elon Musk for having done well in life. His whole shtick is direct hate towards Elon because Elon's been successful, created hundreds of thousands of jobs, had a massive positive impact on the world, and he doesn't deserve it. For the record, Robert Reich is such an annoying little that I've had to mute his account on Twitter because every time I see a tweet from him appear on my timeline, I want to punch myself in the face. It's just better for my mental health. Here's one of countless examples of Reich spitting venom and directing hatred towards Elon Musk. So, let me get this straight. Elon Musk accuses senators who want to increase taxes on billionaires of socialism. Fair. But he has no problem collecting billions in government subsidies to get Tesla off the ground. But can we learn more about Robert Reich? He seems to hate billionaires. Elon needs to pay more tax. And by the way, guys, there are countless other examples of Reich attacking Elon Musk for being a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. So let's see, who exactly is Robert Reich? Here's a tweet from Jim Hall back in 2020. Robert Reich now asks $50,000 for a 1-hour speaking fee, plus first-class flights for 2, hotel, food, and all incidentals, or $20,000 for a virtual speaking engagement. Average American makes $27 an hour. Average American salary, $56,000 a year. Robert Reich is a massive hypocrite. I think this is probably fair to say. He's an extremely wealthy, top 0.01% income earner, super wealthy guy, attempting to stir up outrage directed solely towards one individual, Elon Musk, among the bottom 1% of income earners. It's a nice little trick you got going there, Robert. Now, before I expose Senator Karen, whatever the fuck her name is, the angry old lady, let's see what Orange Man Bad has said about Elon Musk, this billionaire who doesn't pay enough taxes in the past. Now, before we get into this clip, it's very important to add some additional context. The people who control President Joe Biden haven't allowed him to say the word Tesla or Elon Musk at any point during his current tenure as President of the United States. Instead, he's engaged in actively gaslighting the American public, outright lying and misleading the American public into believing that General Motors have led the electric vehicle revolution and that Mary Barra, not Elon Musk, deserves all of the credit.
Mary, I can remember talking to you way back in January about the need for America to lead in electric vehicles. And I can remember your dramatic announcement that by 2035, GM would be 100% electric. You changed the whole story, Mary, wherever you are. There you are. You did, Mary. You electrified the entire automobile industry. I'm serious. You led, and it matters.
So we just heard the President of the United States of America, the leader of the Democratic Party, stealing Tesla's valor, outright lying to the general public, intentionally misleading and deceiving voters. Why? You guessed it, for his own political gain. Just for some contrast, let's hear what Orange Man Bad, a guy who clearly disagreed with Elon Musk, especially on environmental issues, had to say about the man and SpaceX's successful test flight of the Dragon crew vehicle.
Tesla's now worth more than GM and Ford. Do you have comments on Elon Musk?
Well, you have to give him credit. I spoke to him very recently, and he's also doing the rockets. He likes rockets, and he does good at rockets, too, by the way. I never saw where the engines come down with no wings, no anything, and they're landing. I said, I've never seen that before. And I was worried about him because he's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our genius. You know, we have to protect Thomas Edison, and we have to protect all of these people that came up with originally the light bulb and the wheel and all of these things. And he's one of our very smart people, and we want to cherish those people. That's very important. But he's done a very good job.
Mr. President, what did you think?
It's incredible. The technology, the power, and I'm so proud of the people at NASA, all the people that work together, public and private. And when you see a site like that, it's incredible.
Have you talked to Elon Musk?
Yes, I have. I spoke to Elon. Great guy. He's one of our great brains. We like great brains, and Elon's done a fantastic job. I think that this is such a great inspiration for our country. Our country is doing well. It's going to do fantastically well. We think next year is going to be one of the best years we've ever had economically. And I think any one of you would say that was an inspiration to see what we just saw.
Well, what do you know? We just heard Orange Man Bad say, I quote, "We have to give him credit." I guess the Democrats, including Joe Biden, Reich, Senator Karen, etc., haven't got the memo. He also said, and I quote directly, "We want to cherish those people," again referring to Elon Musk. Give him credit, cherish him. The Democrats don't seem to have got this message. Elon's done a fantastic job. This is true. But have we heard this from Biden? Of course not. And of the Dragon launch test? This is such a great inspiration for our country. And again, I remind you folks, after SpaceX successfully launched civilians into space and returned them safely to Earth, nothing but tumbleweeds from the current President of the United States. Here's a great tweet from Joanne responding to Bernie Panders. I think that's his surname, Panders to the woke mob, I think that's right. Bernie Panders writing, "When future generations ask us what we did to stop the climate crisis, how will we answer?" Notice this pandering to the voter base, pandering to people who support proactivity in terms of climate change. Yet, as we'll find out, Bernie unwilling to credit Elon Musk. In fact, Bernie using Elon Musk as an attack vector. Joanne said, they will ask this: why is the Democratic Party so focused on attacking Elon Musk? Great question, Joanna. When Elon is an ally who is actually doing more to fight the climate crisis than the politicians who have lost focus. Elon responding, yeah, I mean seriously, what the hell? Here's a few examples of Bernie Panders attacking Elon Musk again for his own political purposes. You're a billionaire. Great. Good for you. You want to zoom around on a rocket and pretend you're an astronaut? That's fine. It's a free country. But don't ask for government subsidies to do it. And then whine when you're asked to pay your fair share of taxes. Of course, Bernie not directly calling out Elon Musk, but it's clear the target of this attack. For those not keeping score, Elon Musk this year will pay more taxes than any American in the history of the fucking country. Just saying. And another gem from Bernie Panders. The question is simple. Does Congress have the guts and courage to finally take on the greed of the billionaires and large corporations? There's certainly a lot of folks who feel like life's unfair, they haven't been able to do well. Rather than looking inward, looking at their own actions, they instead just want somebody to blame, aka billionaires. This is what the political left in the US is doing. They are pandering to people who are unwilling to take ownership for their own life, their own situation and their own actions, and instead are looking for something to blame. It's low-hanging fruit, and it's effective. This is how you curry up so much hatred towards these rich, greedy billionaires. Bernie Sanders should be ashamed of himself. One final gem from Bernie Panders. We must demand that the extremely wealthy pay their fair share, period. As if to imply they're not. And Elon Musk snapping back, I keep forgetting that you're still alive. The mainstream media, aka the fake news, yeah I said it, which also leans heavily left, has a field day every time they paint him as a villain. Immature, insulting people, greedy billionaire who doesn't pay enough taxes, says mean things on Twitter to somebody who's attacking him. But as I've said in recent videos, if you're being bullied, you've got two options. Enable the bully's behavior by doing nothing about it, or fight back. Here's another great tweet. The President of the United States has refused to even acknowledge the 4 newest American astronauts who helped raise hundreds of millions of dollars for St. Jude, a charity, a children's hospital. What's your theory on why that is? Elon Musk responding, he's still sleeping. And now for the mother of all tweet threads. From another pile of human excrement by the name of Senator Karen, I think. Let's change the rigged tax code so the person of the year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else. This is possibly one of the most horrific tweets that I've ever seen. To imply that Elon Musk, who has created over 100,000 well-paying jobs, had a significant positive impact on planet Earth, who has slaved away for the last decade and a half, working 80, 90 hours a week, sacrificing his personal life, his family life, his health, sacrificing everything to do good in the world. To claim that he is freeloading off everyone else, this is one of the worst things I've ever heard spoken about Elon Musk. And why would Senator Karen be saying such things? Once again, to pander to the insane people on the left. And by the way, not everybody who leans left is insane, but there's certainly a large cohort who are, directing unwarranted vitriol, venom and hatred towards one of the most important, kindest, well-meaning human beings to ever live for her own political gain. This is disgusting. Elon Musk responding, stop projecting, quoting an article which exposes Elizabeth Warren. I quote, Elizabeth Warren is a fraud. Her lies about being a Native American. Now let's click into this a little bit more. Let's learn about what exactly went down here. Elizabeth Warren apologizes for calling herself a Native American. This is really interesting, isn't it? Let's quickly look at another article. Senator Elizabeth Karen, who is expected to announce her candidacy for the Democratic Party's presidential nomination Saturday, is a fraud. For decades, she has been living a lie, pretending to be a Native American when she is not. Now please let me know in the comments below. Do you think it's possible that Senator Karen was falsely claiming to be Native American, perhaps because she thought it may be of benefit to her political career? Given how much influence the woke mob has these days, wouldn't it be great to have a female Native American president? It almost seems like Senator Karen has been playing the race card for her own political gain. Maybe I'm imagining things. Back to this tweet thread. Elon Musk following up. You remind me of when I was a kid and my friend's angry mum would just randomly yell at everyone for no reason. Please don't call the manager on me, Senator Karen. And now it's time to hear from a member of the fake news. I know that term triggers a lot of you, and that's why I'm using it. For those of you that don't know, as I've said, the mainstream media in the United States leans heavily toward the left, suppressing certain information and pushing a false narrative. And of course, since the political left in the United States has decided collectively that they hate Elon Musk, you gotcha, that means the mainstream media also needs to hate Elon Musk and fuel further anger towards the guy. Let's see just one example.
Elon wasn't happy, so he did what he always did and stomped his little feet and insulted Senator Warren, calling her an angry mom and referring to her as Senator Karen. So for so many reasons, being a freeloader and a selfish and disrespectful one, and for misappropriating black vernacular for misogynistic purposes, Elon Musk is the absolute worst.
This isn't an exception to the rule. This is the rule in the mainstream media in the United States. There's very few exceptions. The vast majority of media outlets in the United States are pushing a single narrative, the woke agenda. And I, for one, won't sit by idly without saying something. If you see injustices in this world, say something, even if you might cause a little bit of butthurt or offend a few people. It's important. It matters. The political left owns the mainstream media. The left hates Elon, and it's time to fight back. Open your eyes, unplug from the matrix, call this shit out when you see it, and hold people accountable. Something to think about. We'll return to our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. If you enjoyed going down the rabbit hole with me today, there's plenty more content like this over on Patreon. Check out the card in the corner or the link in the pinned comment. I can share my unfiltered, unvarnished thoughts over there without fear of being cancelled. At least, I haven't been cancelled yet. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can get 2 free stocks with WeBull, a free stock with Stake, free Bitcoin with Coinbase, and free Bitcoin with BlockFi, and the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. And if you're you're still watching, you're awesome. I read every single comment on this channel and I really appreciate your feedback. So if you've got any thoughts on today's video, questions, comments, or suggestions for a new video, let me know in the comments below. Check the cards on screen now to browse the merch store, join Patreon, or watch the next video.